Irving has refused to talk to the media on several occasions this week, and now he and the Nets have been fined $25,000 because of it. Now, Kyrie issued a brief statement in an attempt to make sure his message is, quote, properly conveyed. The league, however, did not see this as fulfilling his media obligations. So this morning, Kyrie posted on social media why he chose not to speak and finished it by saying, quote, "I do not talk to pawns. My attention is worth more." So, Shannon, whose side are you on here?
I told you it was just going to be a matter of time, Skip. It was just going to be a matter of time. I knew this was coming. But you know what? Kyrie don't got to talk, but he got to pay. You ain't got to say a word, but I'm going to fine you. It's $25,000. The next time you don't talk, it's $50,000. The next time you don't talk, it's $100,000 and $200 and $400. I'm going to make it so cost prohibitive you have no talk. I'm going to have to shut you up. You know your obligations. Talk about pawns. He had no problem, Skip. He had no problem talking about we shouldn't be playing. When they was getting ready to go to the bubble, Skip, and he wasn't allowed to go, he had a lot to talk about. 2 months ago, when LeBron James was in the bubble getting ready to play, he had a lot to talk about.
Did he?
The guy that's sitting next to me now, I ain't got no problem passing the ball because he gonna hit them clutch shots. Now, all of a sudden, he ain't got nothing to say. But like I said, you ain't got to talk, but you got to pay. Kyrie know he dead wrong for this. He DA on this one. He knows it, Skip. But he gonna issue a statement. So I guess after the game, Skip, here's Kyrie's statement. We played well as a team. We just need to do some things. But come on, man, Kyrie missed me with this foolishness, man. There's always something with this dude.
And yet, the statement Alex just read is exactly why he doesn't need to talk for his own good to the media, because he always puts sneaker in mouth.
Yes!
How many times has he wrecked his team by throwing it under bus?
Yes.
Going back to the Cavaliers, then to the Celtics, then to the Nets. It's one, every time he opens his mouth, he does damage, right?
Yep, every time he opens his mouth, here's another toe popping out because he got his foot in his mouth, Skip,
Okay.
every time.
Well, how about this? I do not talk to pawns, so he's calling the media pawns, right? Well, they are your lifeblood. And the last time I checked, you get paid, what's he make, 35, 40 million?
Easy, yeah. He got a max contract, 4 years, 140,
Okay.
something like that.
The reason you can make that kind of money is that your product sells, and it needs marketing by the people who play the game.
Right.
So it's part of the bargain that you talk to the media. It's in your contract. That you have to
Yes,
talk to the
absolutely.
contract, because, as you well know from your days, you were the mouth of the team. You know, and again, it's great promotion because the media wants to hear what Shannon says.
Right.
You're their go-to guy.
Right.
In Denver for all those years, maybe even in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Go-to. What does Shannon say? Well, it helps promote you, but it also really helps sell the product,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Well, Kyrie needs to learn how to help sell the product instead of destroy the product. So from a team perspective, I can see, well, the team would say, God, we're glad he just shuts up. But you can't do it for the league's sake, for the ownership's sake, because they need you to speak.
Basically, what Kyrie is saying is that every time I say something, you guys misconstrue what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Skip.
No, we don't.
Thank you. You played 3 years with LeBron James. Arguably one of, if you don't want to say he's a GOAT, you don't want to say he's second best, he's a top 5 player of all time. You played 3 years with him. Here's a guy that you've never played in the NBA with. I think you're on the Olympic team and you played there.
Yep.
You've never played in the NBA with. The guy that you played 3 years with, had won, at that time, had won 4 MVPs and 3 titles. I didn't feel comfortable passing the ball to him because I don't think he can make that shot. But I got a guy now that he can make that shot. So we misconstrued that as you weren't taking a shot at LeBron.
But then he tried to walk it back by saying, why do you guys always try to pit player against player? Well, you
did that.
You started it.
You did that.
Right. Don't kill the messengers.
Right.
That's what he's trying to do.
Right.
Right?
And it got out. Well, you didn't want to play with LeBron no more because you thought, okay, there are not very many people, stars, Skip, that says, you know what, I mean, think about it. You think parents of Mikhail would say, you know what, man, I can't play with Larry. We winning. Normally, Skip, guys that are winning, especially if you winning titles,
I got it.
you stay. I thought that was the whole thing.
And if a man says the earth is flat, I can't misconstrue that. You believe the earth is flat.
Yeah,
really?
you said that.
You said it. I didn't exaggerate or embellish it. You said the earth is flat.
It's kind of like when Charles said he was misquoted in his own autobiography.
He did.
How we misquote you with what you wrote, what you said? Skip, Kyrie and Skip, I told you this was going to happen. I said, I give it 2 years max between him and KD. I give it 2 years.
All right. So what you did with the media was you had a great relationship, and it's a way of buying insurance with the media. Maybe they'll go a little easier on you if you drop a big ball at the end of a game. Well, Kyrie buys no insurance. In fact, he does the opposite. He antagonizes the media. So does Kevin Durant. So they're both, they attack the media, and then they wonder why the media attacks back, right?
Skip, I thought, for me, I was abundantly clear. I never got misquoted. I said what the hell I mean. I meant what the hell I said. So there was no misconstruing. You can't misconstrue what I said. You know exactly what Shannon Sharp said and exactly what he meant. I wasn't taking shots at anybody. We didn't play well. As an offense, as a wide receiver, we didn't block well enough. We didn't catch well enough. We didn't run it. We got to do better. Defensively, we got to do better. What's the misconstrue about that? Shannon, are you saying? I'm saying that in order for us to win the next game, we need to play better than what we played today.
Well, good luck with the fines, because he's going to have a whole bunch of them.
I guarantee you start talking.
Yep.
I mean, you think that joke up parried the way you going to be talking. Talk about everything. Kyrie, we good. Anything else? Because they'll make it cost prohibitive, Skip. He got money. He ain't got that kind of money.
You guys, I'm in a lot of locker rooms. I always tell these pro athletes it's a part of the job. Just use it to your advantage. It's only going to help you in the long run, bottom line. But we're moving on. Currently sitting at 3-9. Could the Cowboys somehow still be in the hunt for the NFC East come Monday? That's next.
The hunt.
All in on Paul George. The Clippers and George have agreed to a 4-year max extension that is worth $190 million. That locks him in alongside Kawhi Leonard, who still has another 2 years on his current deal with the Clippers. So, Shannon, how surprised were you by this extension?
Well, Skip, it makes sense for Paul George because you get long-term financial security. And I guess for the Clippers, considering what they gave up, they basically mortgaged their future. Kawhi was a free agent. You didn't have to give up anything. Kawhi came there voluntarily. But in order to get Kawhi a sidekick, you had to trade Gallinari and Gilgeous-Alexander and 4 or 5 #1 draft picks. So basically, your future until 2026, you got no future when it comes to the draft.
Yep.
So I guess this is what you had to do, Skip. And if worse come to worse, you can trade him and try to recruit some of that back. It's very difficult to trade someone if he's about to be a free agent and he doesn't make a long-term, he's not willing to make a long-term commitment to you. So I get it on both of their parts, you know, Paul George and Kawhi. But Skip, I'm confused. This max money should go to the top. And I get there guys getting max money, and I get it. But Skip, when I look at Paul George in his last 5 elimination games, he's averaging 20 points, 37% field goal shooting. He has a 1-4 record. In Game 7 against Denver, he had 10 points, 4-16. Now, I know what Paul George did in his first couple of years in the league, going head-to-head with LeBron in Miami with D-Wade and Bosh. I remember that. But I also remember what happened those last 2 years in Indiana. I also remember what happened when he was in OKC, when Russ dropped 45 and he hit 5. I remember that.
Russ 45 versus Donovan's 44, whatever he was. Right?
And Paul George laid an egg.
Yep.
So
he did.
And I thought, Skip, when you gave somebody that kind of money, you're banking on what they're going to be moving forward.
Yep.
What has convinced you that Paul George in the playoffs, because that's where you get that, if you're giving that guy that money, when are he going to be in the playoffs? I just, like I said, it makes sense for Paul George. Hell, anybody, you'd be foolish not to take that kind of money. That long, and that's guaranteed.
I mean, the last year is almost $50 million.
And then no accountability. It's everybody else's fault. The way Doc was using me. Doc had me using me like I was J.J. Redick, pin downs, all this. Bruh, Doc
By the way, did you see Doc's response on ESPN today?
Yeah, I love it. I love Doc.
Yeah, and Doc was saying, wait, I was using him like I used Ray Allen. He said, you know, Ray Allen was really good. Maybe Paul should say, thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
So who made him hit the side of that backboard? Who made him shoot 4-16? So that was Doc's fault. Remember, he missed that layup. He had a point-blank layup, and then he just dropped it, just like, it's one of those things. I get it for Paul George. Skip, that's $226 million over the next 5 years. I get that. But for the Clippers, whoo.
Okay. So, as usual, I see this completely upside down from the way you do. I was hoping that Paul